Duo Keyshauna Renee Lingo.
Whoa, full name.
Duo the Owl. Duo the Owl, if you will. Was lost today at the ripe young age of just 3,025 years old. And it's a tough loss. The company released the following statement. It is with heavy hearts that we inform you that Duo, formerly known as the Duo Lingo Owl, is dead. Pretty blunt, by the way. Dead. Not passed away, dead. Gone. Authorities are currently investigating his cause of death. Didn't know if it was a he or she. That was clarification there. Investigating his cause of death, and we are cooperating fully. TBH, he probably died waiting for you to do your next lesson. But what do we know? We are aware he had enemies, but we kindly ask that you refrain from sharing why you hate him in the comments. It goes on to add a little bit more, and then it finishes the statement with something that I found a little confusing. We appreciate you respecting Dua Lipa's privacy at this time. So I don't know what Dua Lipa has to do with this, but I don't know about you, Caleb, but I will be respecting her privacy.
I will, but I'm working on a theory.
I like it, and I want to hear that theory when we get back. Okay. But we're gonna roll with it. Still learning. Okay. Are you actually working on a theory?
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen some. I wonder if it's the same one I was seeing.
Yeah. Do you want to tell the people what this is?
Today, because you wouldn't know. Without us, there'd be no way of knowing. There would be no way of knowing. But today is indeed Wednesday, February 12th, and this is Yelling at Pigeons, episode 29. And Caleb is working on a theory. As one tends to do.
There is one person that I know that is Dua Lipa's or Duolingo's, the Duolingo Owl's enemy. At least Duolingo does not like this person.
Okay.
Do you know anything I'm talking about?
This doesn't sound like what I was thinking of.
Great. If you go to the Duolingo TikTok, they have multiple posts pretty much preying on Drake's downfall.
Oh, okay. That does tie back into what I was saying. Yeah.
And, just days after, Drake got, humbled again on national television by Kendrick, which is the most viewed Super Bowl halftime show of all time, which is insane. We see the loss of the Duolingo Owl after there's been multiple videos that they've posted of the not like us.
The Duolingo Owl's last post on Twitter before the announcement, the very next post was the announcement of the Duolingo Owl's death. The last post was it with the big old smile looking right at the camera with the caption, "Say Drake."
Yeah, so that's just the one enemy that I'm thinking of that the owl has.
Yeah. We're working on a theory that the owl suggested that Drake likes him young.
Yeah.
And then Drake killed the owl.
Yeah. Yeah. And
they said they're cooperating with authorities. So I think we'll get answers.
Cooperating with authorities. OVO's logo is an owl. Maybe there's only enough room in this world for one owl logo. So yeah, that's just theory that I'm working on. But RIP to a real one. I was never big on Duolingo, but maybe
I would see it lurking.
Yeah. Well, I've never used it.
Oh yeah, no, I've never used it
nothing
either.
against
But if
Al.
they want to sponsor the show,
Yeah, I'll use it.
we'll
for
gladly.
free.
We'll be the new mascot.
Yeah,
We'll call Drake. We'll say Drake likes him young next.
yeah.
So,
Um,
um,
do we want to talk about the halftime performance?
I was wondering, do we talk about that here or
Yeah, let's do it
on
here.
sports?
I think
Okay,
it's
then
very
I'm down.
yeah.
I will say this. I thought it was good. I expected it to be better. And the reason I didn't like it as much as I thought I would is because I didn't like the track list.
Yeah. It was a lot of his new stuff. Like,
Yeah.
he played some old stuff, but I think part of it is like him playing his stuff that he's doing now, which is good stuff. It's just not swimming pools, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
swimming pools,
Good kid,
Mad
Mad
City,
City. Like,
All Right, Money
yeah,
Tree. Like, there's
yeah,
so much. I don't know.
yeah.
I didn't love it.
I think that's what like happens when you have such a deep catalog.
Yeah.
But I thought it was I thought it was a great show. Enjoyed it a lot, and he just
I
kept
like
teasing.
the. Yeah, go ahead.
He kept teasing, not like us, and
That was funny.
that was so funny. And then at the end when he played it, I was just in shock. Like,
Yeah, that was
I
hype when
texted
he
you.
finally played it.
I texted you. I was like, "That's the definition of standing on business."
Yeah, because I was starting to think he wasn't going to play it. I was like, oh, the lawsuit got to him. Because when he kept teasing it, he said, like, oh, well, they like to sue.
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh, man, did they really stop him from playing it?
yeah.
And part of me wants to believe they did stop him from playing it. And he was
said,
like, no.
"Nah, I'm playing it."
I'm playing it anyway, which would be so funny. But, yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good show. I liked the theatrics of it. I thought it was cool how it was like, it almost felt like you were watching like a play or like a show. I thought that was kind of cool how they did that.
Did you notice? I saw this this TikTok yesterday, where it was like a triangle, a circle, a box, and an X, and the order that they flashed was the unlimited armor cheat from GTA.
That's cool. No, I did not know
pretty
that.
cool. So
That's
maybe
cool.
I
wouldn't recognize that because I play, as you do as well, a real video game console.
Like what real men play.
Yeah, an Xbox.
Yeah.
I did see a theory, if we're working on theories. That him performing, what's that song? I don't remember what it's called. But it's the one he wrote that's supposed to be like subtly about the idea that Drake killed XXX Tentacion.
Yeah.
And
Peekaboo.
He did,
right?
Yeah, Peekaboo. Yeah, it's Peekaboo. And he played it inside of an X.
Yeah.
On the 30-yard line, which, if you want to get into Roman numerals, 3 X's.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
So they were like, that was like, everything in that show was like very, very intentional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
also,
I
just
thought
the
was
way
cool.
when he said "say Drake" and just looked in the camera like with the biggest smile on his face,
was so funny.
Like, he was like my entire life has led up to this moment, and
yep. People were posting that picture though, and they were. I don't know if you saw this side of Twitter, but they were posting that picture, and they're like, "He's never beating the cutie patootie allegations."
Oh man,
so funny.
Oh man, yeah, that's
great.
That's hilarious. But no, I enjoyed it, and I thought it was a good show. And I mean, just ended with TV off, and
yeah,
Mustard running around with him, not doing anything, just running around.
Yeah, a friend of ours texted me today and said she came home and her stepdad, or what's today, Tuesday? Well, it'll be Tuesday by now. Anyway, she came home and her stepdad was playing the hip hop like station on Pandora, and his quote was, "That little man last night made me want to listen to this."
Older people love using Pandora.
Well, yeah, are they the only ones? Are they exclusively using Pandora?
It is.
I don't know anyone else that regularly uses it.
I feel like it's exclusively for like 45 plus these days. Like,
yeah,
with the ads, with like.
Yeah, it has to be with ads too.
It has to be.
It's never.
They love Pandora
Pro or whatever they. I don't know what they call it, but
I don't even know. Can you pay for Pandora?
I would assume so.
Yeah, I would assume, but I haven't used it in so long. As soon as I was able, I think Spotify was the first thing I ever paid for, like subscription wise, and it's totally worth it. Like, yeah, but
I
that little man.
Yeah, that little man maybe won't listen to this. But I was thinking with the halftime show, is there anything off the dome that would be not just one performer, but like your dream halftime show? If you could, if money was no option, like no issue, and they were like, Caleb, you are in charge. Book whoever you want, however you want. Do you have any idea what that would look like?
All right, so I have who I want it to be next year, which I already
Okay.
like. I have that in mind, like what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
But me personally, I don't know if it would. Like, I think some people would like it, but not everybody. But Blink 182 would be incredible.
That would be cool.
That's like who I would want. They're like my favorite band of all time. Charles Gambino would be awesome, but again, he's a little less mainstream than most people they get.
Yeah.
And I think we're both going to agree on who we want it to be next year because we really wanted this person to do it this year. It has to be Miley Cyrus.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing. If they're going with, I feel like it's been a couple years since it was a lady. So if they're going that route, I feel like it should be Miley.
Yeah.
If it's going to be a guy, I hope it's Bieber.
Oh, Bieber would be
I feel
awesome.
like Bieber's kind of just on like retainer, if that's the word. Like
yeah,
the moment he wants to do it, he's doing it. Like they would gladly, like they're waiting for him to say he wants to do it.
Yeah.
Because when Usher did it, apparently he was going to bring Bieber out, and he didn't want to do it because he hadn't performed in a while because he had to cancel his tour because he had all that stuff going on, and he didn't want to do it. But I think the day that he's like, okay, I would be interested in doing it, he would get a phone call that day.
Yeah.
And I think it would be awesome.
Yeah.
But I had this idea. Hear me out. I think this would make for the most electric halftime show of all time.
Okay.
One, this is the most important part, and it'll be hard to pull off. They don't tell anyone who's doing it. No one knows. They do their best not to leak who's involved at all the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not talking about guests. I'm talking about the headliner, everything.
Yeah.
Two, it's a chain of artists. So the person that first comes out, and mind you, you're entering this halftime show not knowing who's doing the show, and all of a sudden it pops out and it's like, let's say it's Justin Bieber. Bam, Justin Bieber. And you're like, what? It's Justin Bieber, and he does a song, and then that song turns into, what's his song with Chance? Confidence.
Yeah.
Turns into Confidence, and then bam, Chance comes out. You're like, whoa, Chance the Rapper's here, and all of a sudden Bieber like goes into the stage or something, and now Chance does, I don't know, something from like acid rap or something, and then if he has a guest on it, maybe it's Gambino, and he brings out Gambino, and then Gambino brings out someone that he had a song with. He was on a song with Ariana Grande or something,
like
and it's just boom, 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 and it's not like one artist that does a whole set list. It's like however many songs they normally have, like 8, and they all do part of it. I know it's like super unrealistic, but I feel like that would be electric because you never know. The whole time you don't know who's doing the show, and then during the show it just keeps changing. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and then it turns into Imagine, like all the celebrities.
and then it's
all of them come back, and they're singing Imagine.
Yeah, and they're not even. It's just remote. It's on the jumbotron.
Yeah.
No, but I think that would be cool. Like, would I be right to say like a Royal Rumble style?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That would be
that'd be really cool. But I mean, deep down, I really want Miley Cyrus to do it, and I think she would be incredible. And
I think she will.
She has the bangers, and literally, she has an album called Bangers. And I think she would crush it. But yeah, I like that idea a lot. Just a bunch of like 10 random people that just have songs with each other, and they just it's like
just keep connecting it,
like the was it 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, where you connect Kevin Bacon to anybody in the world in 6 degrees, like
basically that. Yeah.
Like
I've been wanting to make a playlist that's like that, where it starts with one song that features someone, and then the next song has one of the person from the last song and someone new.
That'd be cool.
And it just
that'd be really
fun.
Cool.
But yeah, I want a halftime show like that.
Yeah. What if they just, instead of like, I mean, yeah, they could just not tell us, but like to make sure it doesn't come out, they just sever everybody except for that moment, or like we get severed for that moment. So we're just like, what? Like they could tell us, but like during the, we just don't know.
Well, they basically just do the Men in Black thing.
Yeah.
After they tell us who's doing the show.
But before I mean, I know I kind of teased Severance. I got a couple more things I want to talk about before we talk about our favorite show.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Friendship trailer?
I'm literally looking at the cover right now and was about to ask you if you watched it.
I did. It looks awesome.
It's so funny because if you put anyone but Tim Robinson in that trailer in his role, you wouldn't think it was a comedy.
Yeah. For those,
because they make it seem so dramatic.
Yeah. For those who don't know, it's a Friendship. It's Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson, and it's a movie. It's by A24, so it's going to be like a dark comedy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And the guy who seems to not have many friends becomes friends with people, and then not friends with them. And yeah, I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to be awesome. And he did some of his classic Tim Robinson stuff, and playing drums and making friends.
Well, I love A24 movies as it is.
Yeah.
And I love Tim Robinson.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's just going to be, the reviews seem great too. Like,
yeah,
I get the idea it's going to be the next great, like, quotable movie. Like, we're going to watch that and we're going to be quoting it for like the rest of our lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm very excited to add some new, to not put useful information in my brain, but instead take
more brain rot.
Some of the useful information that I have left, remove it, evict it, and replace it with quotes from this film.
Yeah,
that I'm very excited to do.
That's gonna be,
because that will happen.
There's gonna be some good stuff. Yeah, that's gonna be really awesome. Have you been on Google Maps lately?
I have not.
Just go to Google Maps specifically, and go over to the Gulf of Mexico for me.
Google Maps. See, now the problem is, I would have to be good enough at geography to know where that's at. I'm kidding. Okay. I know where it's
at. Because your boy, he did it.
My boy, yeah.
Your boy.
Oh, I see.
Your boy. America. So the Gulf of Mexico is now on Google Maps officially as the Gulf of America.
What a crowning accomplishment!
And Luke Sky said he was going to do something, and he did it. Eggs are still like so expensive.
Business.
Groceries are still expensive. Everything's still expensive.
But we have we got a new
Gulf
though. It's ours now, and it doesn't change anything at all. But it's ours now.
It is.
So
it is. If you zoom in far enough, it changes to Gulf of Mexico, and then in parentheses Gulf of America.
Really?
At least it did on my phone.
On desktop, it does not.
Oh wow.
Not for me.
But
anyway.
I just thought that was
funny. Definitely not even. Partly because I'm stubborn, but also because I truly could not care any less. I would 100% still call it the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but like this is basically the Twitter of Gulfs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna keep calling it Twitter. I might have to rotate everything then. I'll call this the Gulf of X.
Yeah.
I'll call Twitter Mexico, and I'll call Mexico Twitter.
Okay.
I think that's the order of things.
As a guy who used to live in Florida, I just always just called it the Gulf.
The Gulf, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Gulf. That's just
we got a Gulf.
Florida guy.
I go to the Gulf all the time.
Yeah.
They have kickstarts there. They're always stocked.
Oh, the Gulf.
The Gulf station. That's the Gulf around here. You say you're going to the Gulf.
Detroit has a Gulf. Jared.
A Gulf, yeah.
Yeah.
The Gulf. Gulf of Mexico. What is that? Lions quarterback in Cancun?
Yeah, essentially.
Oh man, that is so funny. The Gulf of America.
What is, like? Why is that even like?
So dumb.
Why is that something like? Why is that something anybody cares about? Like,
yeah.
Either way, like what?
Definitely what we need to be putting our time and effort into for sure.
Yeah, all of our time, all of our effort, all of our money needs to be
Gulf of America.
The Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of Mexico.
I wonder where I would have to change. Like, if I turned on like a VPN. Where would I have to go for it to not say Gulf of America? I'm curious. Would it be like the second I leave the U.S.?
Probably. It's probably everywhere else in the world.
Yeah, and then we're just gonna then we just sound like a bunch of idiots.
And
like,
it's
huh?
crazy
The Gulf of America? What are you talking about?
Because like kids are gonna start learning about the Gulf of America.
Oh, good point. Are we gonna have to reprint all the books?
Yeah, they might have to.
All the new books.
But like kids are gonna have to. So there's more money being wasted, burning trees, cutting down trees. And
Spin Zone, new books for the kids.
There you go.
That's the master plan behind all this.
Yeah, no more that have like the front of the book doesn't say Michael Jackson in it.
Yeah, or bend over, or you know.
Oh, you got a book from Ben too?
Yeah.
I guess we did. We went to the same school, but we were in the same grade, so it's kind of weird that we both had the same history books.
Hugh G. Rection.
Oh yeah. That's my guy.
Yeah.
But also, I think they've kind of gone away from textbooks. Did you know that kids just use laptops at school?
No,
school issued like Chromebooks.
I'm not buying that. I'm not buying.
No, you're not. The school is buying it.
I'm not. I don't believe that.
Why don't you believe me?
Because I don't think that's true.
Now, maybe not in Cambridge. Maybe not.
I would say I don't think in Cambridge. I hope for their sake they are, but no, like I think Easton, I know for a fact because when we were in high school, Easton, all their students got MacBooks.
Yeah, so I feel like a lot of schools who have money, not Cambridge, are moving towards like having, like they just use computers and do all their work in class on computers. Yeah.
Cambridge. This is the political episode. Dorchester County is operating at a $10 million deficit for their schools, and despite that, their schools are super not nice.
Yeah,
which is great.
So yeah, that's where we get our world-class education on why we're super smart dudes, and you guys know that we never claim to be idiots.
That's the beauty of the Dorchester County education. You don't have a lot of resources, and they underpay everyone, and it builds that. You build that natural knowledge.
Yeah,
that makes you able to start a podcast in your late 20s.
I feel like one of the biggest downfalls to us is in all honesty, like I think we're pretty smart guys. Like in all honesty,
yeah.
I never felt like pushed to go to college from school.
No,
like never.
There was a little like, hey, don't forget if you're gonna go to college, like you need to fill out your this, that, the third, da da da.
Yeah, I never felt like set up for success to be like, hey, like you should start applying. Like you could get into a school, like a decent school. Like
yeah.
And I feel like only like the really rich kids like went to college.
That's a good point.
Like
that's a very good point.
And that's crazy because if we did have that, like maybe kids would go and get really good jobs out of college and pour some money back into the community they came from. But instead, wow, we got real political on this. Our counselors were like, whatever.
Your mom goes to college. Napoleon Dynamite, shout out.
Great quote. Can't wait for that quote to be replaced by something from Friendship.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Will maybe useful knowledge will stay and other quotes will be forgotten. Yeah. And it's not really our choice. It's just going to happen. We don't know what's going to be.
You just need to like continue to watch the movies that you want to keep the quotes from.
Yeah, I think like some movies have like a legacy score. I think there's nothing that could ever happen to replace it. Hot Rod, The Other Guys, Good Burger. You start going down the list. Who knows? There might be some stuff I would quote now that Friendship might override it.
Yeah, and that's kind of scary, honestly.
Yeah. Lumen might go in there and run the Friendship protocol.
Glad you brought Lumen back up again.
Every episode's a finale, basically.
Every episode
it's incredible.
Do we want to tell them how long we're going to talk for, or do we want to talk and then do a voiceover when we and be like, hey, if you're going to skip to this timestamp?
I don't know because I don't know. Maybe we just give ourselves like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Plenty of time, 5 minutes from right now.
Yeah.
Go fast forward 5 minutes from right this second if you don't want Severance spoilers. Caleb, what kind of theories are you working on over there?
I know we've talked about this, but they were for sure in Lumen. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that they were outside for sure. Like, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that point to this. One, where the TV come from with no power source.
Fair.
Like where the TV come from.
Turn the
Two,
CB off. Turn the CB
like
off.
when they were breathing, you never saw like the air come out of like the vapor.
You never saw their breath.
Yeah, you never saw their breath. I couldn't think of that.
Yeah.
And my final one, which is what I've been working on for the past couple days, why did the what's it called need to be turned off on Helena if they were outside? The block.
Because they needed her. They needed Helly to come back for a second.
But it wouldn't be the block that went off. It would probably be the overtime contingency would go on. Because if they were outside of the office on a weekend, which is what I think a lot of people are assuming, which is why they had a couple days, it would be the overtime contingency would be in play with the rest of the three, and it wouldn't have to be the block on Helly because they would be outside anyway.
Okay, so yeah, this is saying the Glasgow block keeps the innies from being activated at work.
At work.
That's a good point.
So
because I was going to offer a counter theory because I've generally had the same theory that they were inside of some kind of simulation.
Also, there's another. I mean, I should have done this one before, but PD's map has a place where it says
team building,
which is what they were on a team building retreats.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There is, I will say, one other theory working on. Entertain for a second the idea that they were outside, which I agree. I don't think Lumen, that's way too much of a liability to have them outside. But if you tend to agree with the theory that Helena was trying to get knocked up.
Yep, I also have
from a ritual standpoint, they needed it to take place at Kier National Forest or whatever it's called.
What if Kier National Forest isn't even a real place on the outside? Like, what if that forest isn't even like?
It's not crazy that the whole thing could be a simulation.
Yeah.
When they go home,
simulation.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Like it could.
Well, because
anything's on the table at this point.
Also, Dylan's home looks completely different from season 1 when his son was watching the TV counting. Like the TV stats look different unless he has a different TV, which is very possible.
Or moved,
which would be crazy. Within 2 days, like it wasn't that many days, it was like a week.
They claimed it was 5 months. Maybe that would support the idea that it actually was.
Yeah, which is very possible.
You know.
But yeah, I think I've been working on the theory that Mark is an Egan somewhere down the road. I've also pitched to you off pod that Mark, if Dieter is a real thing and he's not like Kier's innie per se, like I don't know if that's also something I've been pondering, but if he came from Dieter's side and him and Helena and the Kiers figured that out, because I feel like everyone is like just direct descendant. So it's like son, daughter, whatever. And whoever becomes the CEO end up being direct descendant from the person who above. It's not like, oh, this was the cousin, this was whatever. Like kind of crazy. But then they only have one child. Like they don't talk about Helly having a brother or sister.
That's true.
So if she's going to be the one to take over the company, she's going to need a successor, and would be the last of the bloodline. So I think they're on some freak stuff with some incest where they're going to, make a baby between them, and we're going to find out later in the series. But but I'm still so confused on where Gemma plays into all this and why else they would need him and why he's working on a file for Gemma.
If you're coming here from 5 minutes ago, give us a couple more.
Yeah, give us 5 more because I feel like we're gonna yap.
Yeah, give us 5 more.
Because like that's where I'm like so confused, and like then where do the goats come into play? And I talked about it that Gemma is working for.
This is a live breaking theory right here.
So I talked to you about how I think that Gemma might have been working for Lumen. I've told you that before, and that her body could have been one of the twins that got burnt in the crash, and she never really died, which is weird. I don't know, because she said she was only alive for 100 and some hours, but I don't really know what's going on. But we also think that she might have been reset a couple times. But if she has worked for them, maybe their whole marriage was a sham to get Mark to Lumen to begin with, because he also states that he started working for Lumen because of the death of his wife, and
so maybe the death was all in the plans the whole time.
Because
they're like, he'll go into such a depression that he'll want to be severed.
Yes, and but Miss Casey or Gemma, whatever you want to say, is working for them, but she's also was like, wait, I actually do love him, and that's why she's been reset so many times. And she
because they can't have her getting actual feelings.
Yeah, actual feelings, because they need Mark and Helena to make a baby, because maybe they're both the last, like, not living, but like possible to reproduce of each side of the lineage.
Yeah. Interesting.
That was working on a theory.
That was working on a theory. Have you been looking into the clones at all? Are you aware that they're called Shadow?
Yes.
Like Shadow Mark and Shadow so-and-so?
Yeah, and we saw the Shadow Mark in episode 1.
Yeah. So I was going to bring that up, is that was not, we now know that was not, people thought that was Greener. People thought it was like more of a metaphorical reference to Mark still thinking about Greener, always watching, and like be willing to punish them even though he's gone. And we now know that was indeed Mark's shadow.
Yeah.
Which is our Shadow Mark,
which
is
I think
pretty crazy.
It is crazy. I think they might be robots.
Okay. Like, I can see that. They move
very
animatronically.
And
the one girl said that her office, the museum, had animatronics.
Yeah. And then Orkbo reorganized is robot. And the way like Helly's character, her shadow was like kind of like her head wasn't staying up straight. Like maybe hers isn't like complete yet. I don't know.
Well, I saw that was symbolism of when she tried to go down by going up.
Whoa.
Yeah, which makes like almost chilling. It's like kind of creepy.
Oh, this show is crazy.
That's awesome. Why her neck is sideways.
Yeah. I love the show. And I told you that I was going to try to go next week's episode and not work on a theory. But I think I'm always going to be working on a theory.
Yeah. How can you not be working on a theory? Now, I have been better at not actively seeking out theories. So, like, it's more fun if I'm trying to think of it myself.
Yeah.
Instead of like hearing it and be like,
I'm going to work on theories, but I'm not going to seek out theories.
Yeah. Whereas, and I'm so deep into the Severance algorithm that they will find me. Yeah. But in the past I've been seeking them out.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of not doing that.
Yeah.
As much because it's more fun to try to think of it yourself.
Yeah. And one last thing, did not know that the world's tallest waterfall was like 50 minutes away from me. I will be going on
that's awesome.
on a retreat, on a team building retreat to that to that waterfall.
So I was like, it's so funny that like if that was, with that being Helena, when he said that, she just can clock him in real time, like this bozo.
Yeah.
It's just lying to them, but it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, she might have been the one to write the lie.
Yeah, she might have. The tallest waterfall in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
No more spoilers, but I did drive to work today listening to the Severance theme with it being all snowy and icy, and
yes,
it felt like it was
that's
electric.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting so much snow right
And
now. I'm definitely gonna, if I have to go anywhere tomorrow, I'm gonna throw it on.
and there was a point where like the road that I had, like my driveway, which is like a mile long, was like super icy, and my car started to like skid a little bit, and I was like, "This is," and like where I should have been like freaking out about my car like almost sliding off the road, I was just like, "No, this is perfect."
Imagine, like, if you're saying like it was scary because you could have slid off the road and like you could have been Gemma. Is that what you're saying? Because
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
imagine
yeah.
the EMT. Imagine you're an EMT. You pull up through a horrible, fatal accident, and all that's just playing on the radio is the Severance music.
It'd be
I would be
crazy.
so creeped out. I would
Oh
be so
man.
creeped out.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
There's probably some stories out there about what people have had playing.
Oh, insane.
Have you ever been listening to something and then like maybe something happens for like a second that you're just like, "Ooh, oh man, okay, alternate universe where that went really bad," and you're like, "Dang, they would have found me with like what would have been playing? It would
Yeah,
have been just like Joe and Frank laughing about God knows what, talking
yeah,
about 9/11 or something,
yeah.
just laying there." Like, oh man, that would be crazy. Yeah, Severance, man, so good,
So good.
so good. Can't wait. How are you enjoying? You just started Dexter. Well, don't tell me. Dexter New Blood,
Yes.
right? That's what it's
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
How are you
Enjoying
enjoying
that one
that?
a lot. I'm not gonna care about any spoilers in this one because that show's like a couple years old now.
If you we're not going to tell you where to. You can try to guess it if you're really that worried about it, but it's a couple years old at this point.
Yeah.
You can just skip ahead if you want. I don't
Yeah.
really know where to tell you.
Yeah. Um, this man loves to be surrounded by police, which is
Probably
just so
strategic.
probably strategic, but it's also so funny to me. But if he's like in with them, like they're gonna be the last person they suspect he's gonna be the last person they suspect. And then
Yeah,
his son just like popping out of nowhere, and then him be like, "Nah, you're not my son. I don't know who that is." And then him being like,
yeah,
"Ah, yeah, you're my son." And
yeah.
like, will he explain that to his son that he was a serial killer at one point? Will he have to? I don't know. I'm not asking you questions right now. I'm speaking rhetorically.
Yeah.
Um, he's cooked. I feel like like by episode 3, like he did a bad kill, his first kill in 10 years,
He's
and
out of practice.
out of practice, blood everywhere. The body was just like under his home for a while. I do think he ended up
Yeah.
burning the body where I'm at. I have to go back a couple minutes
Yeah, that sounds right. So I think that's
because
where you're
he
at.
gave the guy's dad a ride home, and he was like right next to Matt's ashes. Um,
Yeah.
so it's insane. Like, love that show, and I
Oh,
feel like I'm.
correct me if I'm wrong. He gave him a ride home, and there was actively his ashes were falling from the sky
Oh, potentially.
because they drove right past the crematory
Yes.
or whatever you
Yes.
call that,
Yeah. Yeah.
creamery.
Yeah.
He creamed him.
Creamery. That's where they make ice cream.
The creamery. He took him to the creamery.
Potentially,
Kill
I have
in
to go back because I was watching it
and
at
he
work
absolutely,
today. I was
first
watching it
kill
at
in 10
work.
years. He absolutely creamed him.
Yeah, I was watching at work today, and so I have to go back to like the last 15 minutes of the episode. But I'm in episode 3, and very disappointed in myself that I'm taking this long to watch it. But I'm
What are you gonna do? There's a lot of good TV right now, so
yeah,
it's hard to.
yeah, yeah. Dexter.
It's very
I'm
good.
excited for the other. What's the Original Sin? Is the next one not to
Original
watch?
Sin, yeah. I'm like so excited for you to finish New Blood, which is great because then you can start Original Sin.
Yeah, yeah.
Be completely caught up on the Dexter lore.
Yeah. Also, I just found out that a movie that I have never seen, which is apparently a classic, is out on is on Netflix. I've never
Hmm.
seen Inception, and
Inception, I never have either.
apparently it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I've actually
So
never taken the time to watch it.
yeah, it's on
I
Netflix.
remember the
So
Inception craze when it came
yeah,
out.
yeah.
It was a huge
So
deal, but yeah, I never got around to seeing it.
I will be watching that one soon. But
It's supposed to be an all-time banger.
maybe we'll review it next week.
Yeah,
And
it'll be
I
fine.
mean, hopefully people don't spoil that for me after me being like, I don't care. It's an old show. Don't spoil it. I don't care about spoiling it.
It was a dream the whole time. Spoiled it for you.
It was.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, but it's about dreams, isn't it?
Yeah. I used
Yeah.
to pray for times like this to rhyme like that. So I had to.
I didn't say it was about nightmares.
Oh, true.
Just dreams.
Yeah, just dreams. Not
I
nightmares.
wonder if that song. What would be different about that song if you removed the nightmares?
Yeah. I don't know. We not talk about.
Would it be like the second act?
I don't know.
Is that the nightmares?
Yeah.
Like when it shifts? Ain't this what they or no? Ain't this what they went for? Is
Nightmares come true. Like, it's time to marry the game.
Hold up, wait a minute.
Dude.
Y'all thought I was finished. Like, is that part? Is that the nightmare?
Yeah, because he talks about all like good stuff leading up.
Yeah, but then he still kind of does.
But yeah,
after the switch, he's like, I got the Aston Martin. Y'all thought it was Ren.
Yeah,
but it wasn't because he's rich.
Wow, I listened to that song so many times. I'll talk about Philly on tomorrow's episode, but it was just like playing on repeat on the streets of Philly on Sunday night.
Yeah, hype. All time like pregame song, all time Philly song.
Yeah,
so good.
If you aren't aware, I went to Philly the day of the Super Bowl, and it was electric.
It looked awesome.
Yeah, it was so cool. But yeah,
I should address the mustache allegations.
Yeah, we saw someone replied to it.
Finally, someone deliberately
did you
mentioned it. I'm getting to it. Someone finally deliberately mentioned it, and I'm like, okay, I will not be stubborn. Because part of me wanted to be like, I'm just going to grow it even stronger. But I'm like, I don't want anyone to think I'm a Kanye fan or something. So I'm like, I will be an adult and just trim it. My mustache, unfortunately, grows aggressively stronger in the worst spot. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to trim it. Trimmed it up real good. Still, there's nothing. It's just dense there. There's nothing I can do.
I was like,
it's so dense in the middle.
It looks stronger today. Like I would have guessed that you trimmed the rest of it.
No,
Luke,
it's just so dense there.
Luke, you might have.
I might have to just not have a mustache.
You might have to go clean shaven.
I have to just not have a mustache, or just do the opposite and like completely with a razor get rid of the middle.
Yeah,
and just have the sides.
Yeah, like this is how against that mustache I am.
Yeah, I'm so against it. I'm just doing the sides.
Yeah, that's so like.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
and honestly, it's the fact that I have like German lineage.
Yeah, the shoulders,
and it grows so strong right there. That is pretty concerning. Pretty concerning.
Yeah, pretty bad.
I will say I mean I'm a little biased. I don't think it's right now being trimmed up. I don't think it's as bad in person.
I don't know on camera,
but in the light in the camera, because even when it was bad in person, the camera and the light did make it worse. Like even though it was objectively bad in person, it made it worse. But even being trimmed up, it's just dense. It's dense in the middle. I don't know what to say about it. It's always been an issue. It's always been an issue.
I don't know for some reason.
It's a Michael Jordan mustache remix.
Yeah, for some reason I haven't noticed it until we were like on video every week, and then I was like, this is crazy.
It's crazy. It really is. Like this is only trimmed it a couple days ago, and it's not like it's just like my facial hair doesn't grow like that strong, so it's not like it's just like I only shaved a couple days ago, but it just grows back so strong. Like no, it's just so dense that it doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
It doesn't matter how. That's the thing, and if for explaining it, especially for the audio listeners,
it's like, also just darker. It's darker there than anywhere.
It's darker. It's darker and it's more dense. So it doesn't matter if it's all the same length. There's more hairs there.
You need to find
and it's darker.
A hair dye in the color of the rest of your facial hair.
And I'm doing just for men, and it's literally not even. There's no grays in my stash. I just don't want to look like Hitler. That'd be so funny.
Well,
why are you buying that? You don't have any grays.
Now we're demonetized.
Yeah, I was saying Kanye before, but
we're not making money on this anyway. It doesn't matter.
We're not. Yeah, we you have to be monetized in order to demonetize.
Yeah, Yeah, I had noticed it earlier. I was like, he said he was going to trim it, but I don't know if he ever did. And yeah, that's hilarious.
It's great. I don't know what to do. I'm at a crossroads. I don't know what to do about it. Clean it is what it is.
Clean shaven is like the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Which is...
Well, I guess I don't know. I guess I'm just Kanye. What to do.
That is yeah. Every time I look at it, it's like whoa.
What if I go full pivot and I take it back? Like I'm taking back the mustache, and I start shaving the sides.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
And then look, after a little bit, maybe if the theory, have you ever heard the theory that the more you shave it, it grows back?
Yeah.
Stronger.
Yeah. So the rest
Eventually,
of your
the rest of it will catch up.
Yeah.
And I'll just have to sacrifice for like a couple years of just rocking the Michael Jordan Hanes commercial stash.
When will that mustache be like? How many years go by and that's okay? Because like I feel like there are like haircuts or something like that have gone were bad.
I mean, Andrew Schultz essentially rocks. I mean, you could convince he was a Yahtzee.
Yeah,
his haircut is crazy.
Yeah,
his haircut
I'm
is
saying
crazy.
like even like are there haircuts or whatever from like hundreds of years ago that were like wait that represents this person or that person like are there like was there like a Hun haircut that this man until the Hun went through everything literally and everyone but like people would rock a haircut much like his and it's been enough years that people are like it's whatever like in 2300 will people like be like nah it actually is cool mustache like 300 years going by
I don't know. I don't know.
30
I don't know if 300's enough.
3,500 years.
Probably only because...
Or 1,500 years.
There will still be a lot of people that know about the Big H.
Mm-hmm.
But as sad as it sounds, they might not care as much 1,000 years later.
Yeah.
Like, not to say they shouldn't, but it might just wear off, Yeah. None of them experienced it or knew anyone that did.
Yeah. Well, you told me that you like agree with some of the things he did, so that's why
Listen. We make a lot of jokes. I do not have the mustache to survive those jokes. I don't have the mustache or lack thereof to survive those jokes.
Luke does not support any of that. He is not. That is not him.
It's like it's funny. It's like so the Schultz genes, like the mustaches are strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine, I only got the strong part in the middle.
Yeah.
Like I only got the strong part right here, and the rest is just like average, normal.
Yeah.
But like that strong like Schultz stash is
just
all
of it concentrated in the middle.
Little part right there.
I can't wait to see the thumbnail of you on your idol.
Of me what?
What?
The thumbnail of me what?
You're just gonna
on my yeah. For sure. The thumbnail's just gonna be me on like a Just for Men bottle.
Yeah.
Man.
Wait, I thought of this during our Super Bowl halftime conversation.
Discussion. Yeah.
AJ Big Justice featuring the Rizzler.
For the halftime show.
I saw this tweet that's like, I'm going to be a very rich man if the Rizzler comes out and raps during the halftime show. And then there was his retweet was like, I'm so cooked.
Speaking of being so cooked, we might be so cooked.
Why?
Oh, we're back.
I thought about to say that Live 5 didn't exist anymore.
I thought Sporkle got rid of Live 5. I was like, uh-oh. The Sporkle merchants are cooked. All right, let me share it. I found it.
Oh, Jose got his hat today.
Shout out, Jose.
And put it up in his office with all his other hats, which is awesome.
That rocks. I was saying, I think I texted you, I should have sent him like a miniature hat.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, this is game worn.
Game worn Luke Schultz hat.
Game worn Luke hat. It would have been so funny.
Yeah, but shout out to him having that.
Samsung. All right. Let's do some Live 5. What is like, what dictator from the 1930s. All right. What 1983 film used the tagline, "He loved the American dream with a vengeance"? Is this Scarface, Risky Business, Stripes, or The Outsiders?
I feel like Scarface kind of makes sense. Wasn't he like an Italian mobster? And
Sure.
yeah.
Bam. Got it. Oh, by the way, Max told me the other day, he's like, "Oh, Luke, you got to watch the movie Two for the Money. Have you ever seen it?" And I was like, "I haven't seen it, but it's about one of my favorite people, and he works at Barstool." And he's like, "What?" The guy, I was like, "Yeah, Al Pacino played him." And he's like, "Al Pacino's in that movie." I'm like, "Yeah, he played." That movie is based on Stuart Finer, and he's the GOAT.
Yeah. Stu Finer.
So he was shocked that after watching that movie. His reference for Stu Finer and mine are completely different.
So different.
I've never seen Two for the Money.
Yeah.
I've seen Advisors.
Yeah.
So,
you should show him some Sports Advisors.
yeah, I'm going to have to. Okay. Alectorophobia is the fear of what bird? Turkey, chicken, ostrich, or duck? There's usually some, like, in the phobia's name, there's usually some kind of hint there. But I don't know where Alector plays. Is it the OR or is it
the ostrich?
The ostrich is Alectorophobia. Alectorophobia. Let's go. You want to go ostrich?
I like ostrich. I don't understand. Chicken.
Dexter's a chicken. Chicken.
Moo.
Which MLB player notoriously told a grand jury in 2003 that he thought he was taking flaxseed oil, not steroids? Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, or Roger Clemens? I don't remember which one this is. I want to say this is Sosa.
Sosa sounds right. I mean, all of them did it, but
Bonds.
Barry Bonds, old barreled.
Like, I know I've heard that like reference in baseball lore. It's very funny, but I don't watch baseball like that. Of the 7 continents, which is the only permanently inhabited one that does not currently have a monarchy? Oceania, South America, Asia, Africa.
What is
a monarchy? Is that like when you have a bunch of dads that cut grass in their Nikes?
No.
And their air monarchs.
That'd be awesome. No, it's like king and queen. King or queen.
Does
is
not have.
Is it Oceania?
Is Okay.
Oceania's like Australia. Oh, we're both wrong.
South America. Who served the most time as U.S. president during the decade of the 1920s? Is this Coolidge?
I don't know. You gonna read all the questions or all the answers?
No, I'm not. I'm gonna make them tune into the YouTube to see them. No, Calvin Coolidge, Teddy Roosevelt, Warren G. Harding. Shout out Warren G. Rapper. Woodrow Wilson.
I think it might be Woodrow, but you said Coolidge.
I don't know. Coolidge it's a cool name, and it just was the first one that stood out.
Yeah. I feel like Woodrow might have been in the 20s. Oh, man. I'm sorry.
Dang. That sucks. Lizzie Kaplan, star of Showtime's Masters of Sex, had one of her first film roles in what 2004 film as a character named Janice Ian? Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, The Aviator, The Notebook, or Mean Girls?
Yeah, don't know who this is.
No idea. I say we go with Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind just because it's crazy.
Great.
Mean Girls.
Really?
I haven't seen Mean Girls, but I feel like I'm cultured enough that I would have known that. Like, I would have heard that name referenced, and I don't know. Didn't pick up on it at all. Whose name can be heard in the lyrics of #1 songs from Maroon 5, Black Eyed Peas, and the Jonas Brothers? Mick Jagger, David Bowie, Jay-Z, or John Lennon? This is Mick Jagger, right?
Has to be. Unless they're trying to throw us through a loop. Okay.
Nope. Mick Jagger. Xavier Roberts' signature can be found on the left buttock of what line of dolls? Oh, American Girl, G.I. Joe, Barbie, or Cabbage Patch. I'm thinking this is American Girl or Cabbage Patch,
Okay.
but I'm not sure
Still weird
because
either
it's
way.
plush, and that's why I
Okay,
know
then Cabbage
because
Patch. I think is Cabbage Patch
I'm
is
like
more
this is
plush,
weird.
right?
Aren't American Girl too?
I don't know why I thought they were like porcelain.
You might be right. Yeah, I think this is Cabbage Patch. I'm
Okay.
almost certain it's plush, and it's like embroidered.
Okay.
Let's go.
Oh, with nose doll.
I know doll.
Nose doll.
What poem by Friedrich Schiller is best known for its use by Ludwig van Beethoven in the final movement of his Ninth Symphony? Ode to Joy, Pachelbel's Canon, Moonlight Sonata, Air on the G string.
The what? What was that last
Air on the
one?
G string is crazy.
I think it's Ode to Joy.
Bam. Caleb moves ball. What is the collective name for the Canadian provinces of Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Prince Edward Island? Is this the Caymans, British Columbia, the Maritimes, or Saskatchewan? I believe this is British Columbia.
I think so too. I think Saskatchewan is like an actual place.
Oh, Maritimes.
What it was in
Dang.
Saskatchewan.
Thought it was BC. I just know BC is like their biggest.
Yeah.
You know what? That might be a province in itself, and it's the biggest one.
Okay.
That's why I messed that up. In what month did the attack on Pearl Harbor take place? August, December, November, or June?
That's December.
That it is. In To Kill a Mockingbird, who tells Jem that it is a sin to kill mockingbirds? Calpurnia, Tom Robinson, Atticus Finch, or Boo Radley? Tom Robinson just being in the mix in those crazy names.
I think it's Atticus Finch. Atticus Finch sounds like the most memorable name.
Going with the gut.
You love that one part of that book, right?
Oh, I got news for you, buddy. You can't get me with this because I've never even read that book.
Okay.
So, what American author penned the short stories Rip Van Winkle and The Legend of Sleepy Hollow? Ralph Waldo Emerson, Herman Melville, Washington Irving, or Henry David Thoreau?
I think it's Washington Irving. I don't know why.
I thought so too, for sure.
I really only know that because the main character in Sleepy Hollow is Ichabod Crane. And I'm like, wait, that's my last name too. It's spelled the same way as my last name, so
it's not. Mr. Williams didn't spell it.
No.
What is the name?
Mr. Williams got my name correct. He got the actual.
Spelled your name as for an actual crane, and then erased the I.
We could go for days talking about that class in itself. Yeah. We might have to. We might have to do a Foundations of Tech.
A Foundations of Tech episode?
Yeah. We'll get people from the
documentary.
Class. Yeah.
Just do a documentary on that class.
Yeah.
Interviewing like Craig. Shout out Craig. He's so funny.
Yeah.
What is the name of the colorful object in the constellation Taurus that was left behind by the SN 1054 supernova? That right there, that sentence I just read, foreign language. Orion Nebula, Horsehead Nebula, Crab Nebula, or Crab Pulsar? I'm going to say Pulsar.
I was going to say the Orion Nebula.
The one that I pronounced Orion?
Yeah. Because Orion isn't. Oh. Okay.
Is he the one with the belt?
Yeah.
Orion. He has his belt.
Because there's another. I didn't know if it was like close.
Yeah. A shade of which primary color was selected as Pantone's 2020 color of the year, partially as a nod to the first color of the year chosen in 1999, cerulean. Red, purple, blue, or green?
Now, I don't know much about colors, right? But
you don't see color.
Is cerulean closer to a blue?
It feels like a blue.
Yeah.
The vibes are blue.
Okay.
There we go. I like that. That was a good way of coming up with an answer. The vibes. During the Cold War, Communist Europe was referred to as being behind the Iron Curtain. What was the similar term used for communist Asia? The Mao Curtain, the Bamboo Curtain, the Asian Curtain, or the Tofu Curtain?
I think two of these sound super racist.
I
But
think I would argue three of them.
I think Mao is the one.
I think so too. Bamboo. You know what? We should have been like, it sounds racist.
That was the most
so
racist
that's what
one.
it is.
That was the most racist one, right?
Right. So of course that would be what it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, this was during the Cold War.
Yeah.
Which of Henry VII wives?
The 8th.
Yeah, was the daughter of King Ferdinand and Queen Isabel of Spain. Catherine Parr, Catherine of Aragon, Jane Seymour, or Anne Boleyn?
I think it's Jane Seymour for some reason.
And what's she Boleyn?
Anne Boleyn.
What's Anne Boleyn? Anne Boleyn.
For some reason.
I think it's Jane.
I think Jane.
Listen, there's been some great songs written about her. Oh, Catherine. This isn't going well. In what year did Bulgaria declare its independence from the Ottoman Empire?
Just click one. Click one.
Oh! Oh, let's go. Let's go.
It was 1908.
Only 3 years prior to the invention of autopilot in planes.
That's crazy.
Pretty crazy.
I hope
that was
we have a
crazy
question
guess.
about what year was autopilot.
1908. That would be awesome. What NHL player won his second Hart Trophy as league MVP in 2014? Is this Corey Perry, Alexander Ovechkin, Evgeny Malkin, or Sidney Crosby?
Do I know ball? I don't know much ball.
Does Caleb know puck?
I feel like it's going to be Ovechkin or Crosby. I think it's Crosby. I think as a Penguins fan, I have to go with Crosby here.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You know puck.
2 years later, I guess 3 years later, they went back-to-back in Stanley Cups.
Lit. By what stage name was musician Charles Hardin Holly known? Richie Valens, the Big Bopper. I hope that's it. Buddy Holly, or Chuck Berry. Is Buddy Holly too obvious?
But it might be right.
It would make sense, and he did change it a little bit.
Yeah.
Want to go with it?
Yeah.
I'm down to go with it. I'm gonna be very mad if the answer is the Big Bopper.
Me too.
Buddy Holly, let's go. What East Coast state has the motto "Live free or die"? Oh, we should know this. This is Maryland.
Is it?
I don't think so. Virginia, New Jersey, New Hampshire, or Maryland? I'm kind of feeling.
Let's see.
I almost want to say Virginia, but I think if it was Virginia,
I would know. I lived in Virginia.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think if it was Virginia, New Jersey, or Maryland, one of us would know for a fact.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go.
Which makes me think it's New Hampshire
because New Jersey is like the Garden State.
Yeah.
So like, what's that have to do with?
And Maryland is the lacrosse state.
Yeah. I don't think it's for sure not Maryland.
I think Maryland. No. Yeah. Okay. Virginia is for lovers.
Yep.
The Garden State.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know New Hampshire. And Maryland, I believe, is when you're here, your family. Trademark. Post Malone.
Yep. I think it's New Hampshire.
Look at that. Yeah. We were right. It was New Hampshire.
Yeah. Well, that. Oh.
And in 1994, this team became the first 8 seed to eliminate a 1 seed in the NBA playoffs. So it's the Seattle Supersonics, the Charlotte Hornets, the Los Angeles Lakers, or the Denver Nuggets. Oh, I would have asked for a sports question, NBA or NFL. So I can't complain here, but I'm not 100% sure. 94. 8 to knock off a 1.
Lakers wouldn't have been an 8 that year, would they have?
I was gonna say I feel like the Lakers wouldn't have been an 8, but that's also like could maybe like it's before Shaq and Kobe, after Magic.
Is it weird that Charlotte is the only East team in there?
Little bit. I'm thinking Charlotte. Okay, so Charlotte was picking. They would be picking at 13 2 years later.
Okay, so could be an 8 seed.
So they could be an 8 seed.
Denver, who was their picks around then?
No idea. I just remember Charlotte picked Kobe.
Supersonics feels too obvious. I don't think the Lakers would have been the 8 seed. I kind of like the Nuggets. For some reason, I'm drawn to it.
Yeah, I'm thinking Nuggets or Hornets.
I think the Hornets were thrown there to be an East team to throw us off. And for some reason, the Nuggets are screaming my name.
Let's do Nuggets then.
Let's go. I couldn't even tell you anybody on that team.
Caleb knows ball.
I don't.
I don't know. I don't think I could either. I don't think I can tell you anyone on the 94 Nuggets. Let's go.
Yeah. Love that.
People are going to accuse me of looking
keep going to see if we could.
Oh, shoot. Okay, we can, but I'm not going to share it. Approximately how many minutes does it take for light from the sun to reach Earth? 8 minutes, 4 minutes, 16, or 32?
16.
Wrong. It was 8.
Dang.
Real quick before we go, I want to see if we know any names from the Denver Nuggets 1994 roster.
Okay.
Because I'm very curious about this. So their roster, Muhammad Abdul, I don't know how to pronounce Rauf or something like that, but I recognize the name. I've heard of that.
Oh, come on.
Let's see.
They have an all-time center.
I haven't made it there yet. Oh, let's go. No. The GOAT. Yeah. R.I.P. R.I.P.
Dude, his name should have been their guard, Robert Pack, because he just packed shots. Can't remember if he.
Yeah.
His name was Robert Pack.
Robert Pack. Well, that was electric. Lucky guess, you could argue, but we know ball.
Yeah. We also know Live 5 because we knew that we knew the Lakers would probably not be the 8th seed. If they were even in the playoffs. Seattle, I feel like they were trying to play a fool for us, play as fools, by putting the Supersonics in there. And then they threw an East team in there for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Process of elimination.
Yeah.
Dorchester County education right there.
There it is. That's how we did all of our tests. Process of elimination.
All right. Where can they find you, Caleb?
You can find me at the world's tallest waterfall in New York. But I probably won't recognize you. There'll be my innie that's there. You can also find me on Twitter at Caleb P. Crane and Instagram at Caleb Crane 12. And TikTok. Maybe one day I'll start doing theories of Severance on TikTok.
Severance on TikTok? Yeah. I consider that as well.
Yeah.
So you definitely, I encourage that.
Yeah.
You can find me, if I'm on it, it's Luke Schultz 56. You can also probably find me jabbing around tomorrow with Severance music on. Just probably the blank stare.
Yeah.
It'll be lit.
Also, just go follow, subscribe to us on YouTube. Like and subscribe on YouTube. It's free. It doesn't do anything bad to you. Like, it's just good for us. Yeah. Helps us. And
if you have any suggestions for the stash
that
don't include clean shave, drop them in the comments. Let me know what to do.
Yeah.
All right. We will see you on sports tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll talk to y'all on here next week.
Peace. Let's blouse. Almost forgot.